Hello again everybody. It's a lovely sunny day here in South Wales, and in my last episode I said I was going to start work on the Zen Garden, and there's my real Zen Garden, looking a bit sad after the winter, but it'll soon tidy up. My little tea house down there, which I'm going to try to replicate on the layout. And there's Buddha up there overseeing everything. But the layout on the Zen Garden on the layout won't be quite so big. I've made myself a template of where it's going to go, and I cut a piece of ply to suit, so I'm going to build a little diorama on that and then place it into its position on the layout. And that is where it's planned to go, like that there. I had thought that there would be a gate here coming into the Zen Garden for pedestrians, but no, I'm going to make the entrance here, and it will be a linear park. So I'm going to have to fence that off. So for the first thoughts, I think we'll have an arch here with the name of the park on it, which I'm going to use one of the names that was suggested for the layout for the town, which was Clock Tower Park, or Clock Tower, and I'm going to call it Clock Tower Park. So you'll come in here, faced with Buddha, with a path round either side, and then a dry water pond here, I think, with a little pond round here, and the tea house about here. And the way I've made my tea house down there, it looks as if it's floating on water, and I'll probably do the same here. It's a shame there isn't a little bit more room for it, but there we are. I have to make the most of it. So I started by sketching on the piece of ply the entrance here, with a path going round and down to the bridge and the same the other side, and then the bridge over this area here would be water, and this little tea house here. Now I think the next thing I'm going to do is put a piece of card over that and draw it again on the card, and then cut the card out so that the raised sides here are above the path itself, and that will make it a little edge to the water as well. And now I've got all the card cut for the raised sides. These are the paths lower, and in here will be the dry water area with some stones, and I've either got to get a very fine sand, or I might try salt to fill that. And then I'm going to have to move the tea house round a little bit so it's a bit more symmetrical there. And then there'll be water with the tea house appearing to float on the water. Now I'm going to get on with building the tea house, and I'll do the footprint first. So that wants to be 9mm. Six centimetres there. Yeah, I hate working with millimetres. You can mistake a bit of dirt as a decimal point, and with feet and inches you can see the difference straight away, but with millimetres, centimetres and all the other funny meters, it's far more dangerous. If I was going to do a lot of this, I really ought to buy myself a laser cutter, because I've got this tiny little thing here which fits on the side of there like that, and I want to make holes in it, so I'm cutting it by hand, and it is extremely fiddly. Oh, there's the first one. See? And I've just got that side. I've got one to do for there, and then one to do for here, and one to do for here. Well, that's all the bits cut out. Now I start gluing them together, and then work out the roof. I got all these bits stuck down now, and there's the framework of the little tea house, and there's one of the gable ends there, and the other one I've still got to cut it out for there, and then they get the roof on and paint it. Well, it certainly wouldn't stand close scrutiny. The painting's coming on, but I'm going to have to wait for it to dry a little bit before I can pick it up and do any more. And I'm going to sort out what I'm going to use for the gravel in there. Oh yeah, and here I've used scouring pads and scraped the face off, sprinkled a little bit of leaf stuff on, and I'm going to use that as a hedge along this edge here next to the railway line. I've now grassed these areas, and for the dry water area pond, I've used sandpaper, 40 grit sandpaper, and then I fancy having a little a cloud tree. Oh, you can see that there, little cloud tree like that, which I've made with wire, 4 pieces of wire, glued together at the bottom with hot glue, and then I've made little clumps here which I hope are going to work, and put them on there and have a cloud tree probably about there. And there we have my little cloud tree. Quite pleased with that. I've now got the hedge in along there and the stones placed on the dry water, and I've painted the actual water where the little tea house is going to stand here with the bridge. But along this side, along this edge here, I was hoping to be able to put a post and wire fence, and I'm going to try to do it using a very, very fine track pin, and to make the holes, because I can't find my very fine drills, nor the little driller that you pump up and down, can't find that, and I'm going to use jewellery wire if I'm successful. So what I've done, I've got the matchsticks laid out here, because I bought a long time ago, I bought a bag of matchsticks, and I've laid them out there. They're going to be half that length, so that will be the cut line, and I'm not going to be over ambitious because I'm going to put 2 strands of wire in, and see if I can manage that. I really don't know whether I will. I'll try anyway. So all the holes are in now, so I just got to cut those in half, the right length. Right, so they're all cut in half. Now I'm going to make them brown, but the trouble is if I paint them first, the holes are going to disappear. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a piece of wire and the right length that I want, and then I'll thread them all on and dip the whole lot into a solution of that timber care. Find the end again. I've had this wire for a long time, and there it is. There's an end. I've got one length of wire cut, and before I cut the other one and waste it, I'm going to make sure that I can actually thread this through the holes that I've made. Can't even see the hole on that one. I did do a check, and I did manage on one of them to get it through. Ah, there, it's through. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is thread the rest of them on. Fiddly job. I've now got the top wire through 15 of them, 16 of them. So now I've got to get the bottom wire through. It's going to be fun. After a few choice words which I probably picked up when I was at sea, I've got both wires through all the posts. And now I'm going to dip them in that timber care and then hang them up to dry. And there they are, hanging up to dry. And I'm going to go and get myself a stiff drink. It's all dried out well. And I'm going to start putting them in place. And I'm going to put them 3 centimetres apart. So I cut myself a little measuring stick here. So we'll start drilling the holes. Now a little blob of PVA and pop the posts into the holes. And there's my attempt at a post and wire fence. And there we have the Zen Garden, known locally as Clock Tower Park. I was sitting comfortably meditating in this lovely Zen garden when all of a sudden this happened. And the planner's got no sense of peace and quiet. Well, that's it for episode 26. Next I'm going to get on with the other part of the town, which is that lot down there. And then I'm going to work my way around that back wall, and I will end up back at the first thing I did, which was the waterfall, and that will be all the stuff that I couldn't reach easily over the tracks. So after that we get started on the tracks proper and get some trains running, and then they can come back to the scenery which is easier to reach. So once again, thanks for watching, and I hope it's been of some interest to you. Bye bye for now. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, Please give us thumbs up and maybe share it with others.